Today on Suncoast View, new additions to the Sarasota ballot could change how we elect our commissioners. We'll tell you what you need to know.
White Cane Safety Day is in October, and today a Suncoast organization will show us how they work to help the visually impaired gain independence.
Plus, the longest-running musical in the world is on stage in St. Petersburg, and Free Fall Theater is here to bring us a preview. All that more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show. Happy Friday, everyone.
Yes, Friday, where have you been all week?
And welcome to Free Fall Theater's Matt McGee. Always great to have you with us.
I'm so excited to be here and live at last.
Yes, of course. Not hard for our theater friends, of course. Your whole life is live.
That's right.
Well, it's great to have you here, especially because you have a puppy to tell us about. I've been in baby and puppy mode all week.
I'm exhausted. We just, on Monday, we got a puppy, Avery, who is a 9-week-old chocolate lab. Avery with an I, which I think is fun. Avery Grace, which is funnier because she's basically destroyed everything in the house. But she just got here. You know, my partner George lost his lab, a 15-year-old lab, in the spring. And it's been a while for him to want to get a new dog, so we finally got her, and it took a long time to find her. But she is a hoot. Look at her. She's a doll, actually very sweet, but a little clingy, which I like. We're doing the that's her sleeping at the vet. She just completely went to sleep at the vet, so she's really laid back. And I have a 11-year-old Westie Brian who is not having any of this.
Wow, that is
that
quite
side eye?
the eye.
Yes.
Yeah. Brian really doesn't think he's a dog. He thinks he's a person, a member of the family. And so who is this little dog, puppy interrupting my life?
Who wants to play?
Who wants to play all the time. And he's not he doesn't play. Someone actually wrote us, we put up a video of Avery playing with the ball and Brian watching her. And a lot of people said, oh, you need to give him a ball too. I'm like, he hasn't played with a ball since he was like, ever, really.
Right.
So,
And he's gone to work with you. I mean, people that know you know that you've taken Brian everywhere.
I've worked at the Oslo Rep, and there was a little pillow back there backstage. I was doing the show, and Brian laid on the pillow backstage, and he knows when it's intermission or when there's applause that it's time to go outside. So if somebody says 10 minutes, he's ready to go. But mostly Brian's biggest thing is just laying on couches. That's what he's the best. Every dog needs a job, and Brian's like perpetually out of work.
And he does as well.
He does really well.
Well,
So
a
we're
young
excited.
lab ought to give all of you a run for your money.
I'm telling you, somebody said they start to really relax around 9.
Yeah, that's
So,
accurate. That's
great.
very accurate.
So
Only
we're-
9 more years.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled. I'm thrilled. She is a sweetheart.
Well, good. Nothing more fun than a puppy. So
Yeah.
enjoy. All right, and nothing better on a Friday than some sweet treats. And that is what I am eyeing in the Rice's Appliance Kitchen. We have Chef Larry from Simply Gourmet Caterers. We sugaring it up for the weekend?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a party. Today I'll be preparing some summer stewed fruits. Stew them in a little bit of cassis from Burgundy and blackberry jam. I think you're gonna love it. A little piece of lemon pound cake, whipped cream. How could that be bad?
How could it?
Oh, delicious. I can hear myself getting fatter. I haven't even eaten any yet.
We're just going to eye it for the next 45 minutes and think about how we can't wait to join you.
I think you'll love the truffles too.
I think we will.
I doubt we're going to say no, that's for sure. All right, good to
Okay.
see you, Chef Larry. Hey, speaking of saying no, we give Linda a hard time because the sweet Southern lady cannot say no, ever, and that is why she's often busier than she should be. Earth-shattering news. I heard you learned the word this week.
I did it.
Whose heart did you break?
A really good friend of mine wanted me to buy something and put it in a particular place in my house. And she said, oh, it'd be great. And I said, yeah, it would. And she said, oh, yeah, I know where you can get, okay. Then she called and said, I found it, Linda, I found it. I'm going to buy it and bring it over. I don't want it. I don't want it. But I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I texted her and said, no. I don't want it. And then I turned off my phone. But then I thought, what if there'd been text messages before I got married the first time? My first husband could have texted me and said, will you marry me? I could have texted him and said no. I wouldn't have felt bad about it. It would have changed my life.
So you didn't feel bad sending the no text?
No, because I don't have to face them. It's that looking into somebody's eyes and disappointing
You wouldn't
them
do it over
that
the
I don't
phone?
like. No, because it just hurts their feelings and you hear their voice, and I could just turn off my phone, and nobody could get
I
to
just
me.
make a lot of excuses.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's quite right
Oh,
with
see, but you still are
colors.
saying no.
Yeah, well, yeah.
See,
and I
the
was thinking-
gateway, a texting no is the gateway to saying no. So you're on your way. That's
Yes,
a big step.
I've gone through the gate.
Yes.
I was thinking in dating situations, if the guy could text the girl and say, do you want to have sex? And she could text no or yes, then you've got a record and nobody gets their feelings
And
hurt.
that's sexting, which is a whole other episode.
Well, I never have gotten into that, Matt. So
No,
I've got
good,
a lot
good.
more to
There's
learn.
still time.
There's still time.
Moving on. It is time for our first hot topic. Wow. Be prepared to read your ballot carefully at the polls in November. There are numerous local ballot initiatives, and one would change the way Sarasota County commissioners are elected. So voters can choose to restrict voting in each commission race to only those who live in that district's boundaries. That would be rather than everyone voting on every commissioner. Proponents say this actually will hold commissioners more accountable to their voters. Do you agree?
Yes, absolutely, and I almost can't believe that this was not the case. I mean, where I grew up in Syracuse, New York, our city council was, there were districts, and they were responsible for their district, and I feel like it holds the person in elected office accountable to those people. We don't have the same, some of the same considerations in my neighborhood as someone does across town, and vice versa, so I think this is a good thing.
But it should be for the overall good of the city. So we can't think, well, this is good for one area, but it's not good for another, so I'm going to just vote for this. So I think we need to look at the overall good of the whole area. And our area is not that big. So I think we need people looking out for the whole area.
But this might, because then you have, if this person is speaking up for the consideration here and this person in this part of town, then everyone is kind of generally represented, and then it's the commissioner's job to try to represent their district, and then they're the ones that have to figure out the big picture.
Let them fight it out.
Sounds easy in
Yeah,
discussion.
but people will never come together. And we've got too much division in this country. We need people to come together for the overall good.
But don't you want to feel like your neighborhood's voice is being heard? Like what's happening in Southgate? I want to make sure they're addressing those issues the same way the issues in Newtown and the issues in Lakewood Ranch and wherever. I mean, that's what I want.
Who's going to see the overall good of all of this?
That's their job.
What's funny is I read this wrong. I thought it was November Ballet, so I was like, oh, what's the Sarasota Ballet doing? So I'm really out of the picture on this. But they're fabulous, and that's something we can all agree on. Yeah.
And that might be the only thing we agree on
That's
today,
right.
so that's
Okay.
okay. It's good that you brought that
The
up.
arts bring people together.
That's right. We'll agree on that. So a Broadway classic and Best Picture winner is getting another shot on the big screen, and we now know who will play Tony in the new West Side Story. Ansel Elgort. He is the lead actor in films that you no doubt have heard of, like The Fault in Our Stars and Baby Driver. He will be the lead for Steven Spielberg's remake of West Side Story. It's set to begin production next year. Now, the question is, are we surprised that we're remaking this again? Because now we're not just making a musical, we're making another movie of a musical that we've already had a movie of. And do we like the Ansel Elgort pick? I'm happy anytime I can look at Ansel Elgort. So
Great,
that's-
I like the way he looks, but I would like to see something new. I've seen West Side Story probably 100 times. I would like something new. But the problems of West Side Story are even more prevalent today than when it
Absolutely.
was made.
Yeah, an interesting choice for Steven Spielberg. I think there are
Another,
other
yes.
musicals that I'd like to see him tackle. Someone said Ragtime. Why doesn't he do Ragtime or something that's
a
more of
great
an
one,
epic
too.
scale?
Yeah.
But I'll be happy to see West Side Story again. I hope it's as good as what I think the original is.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing is, look, when you turn on the news, all the news is like terrible, right? Like it's always something sort of depressing. When I feel like when things get a little rough out there in the world, we kind of go back to the things that comfort us and are somewhat traditional. And while West Side Story has a bit of a pretty strong message,
Somebody dies,
yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot of stuff happening. It's still pretty much something that everybody knows. And I'm finding lately that even in entertainment, if people know the title, they're more willing to come see it.
Right, there's
And,
some comfort there.
Well, we know
yeah.
how it ends. In our daily world, we don't know how this mess is going to end,
Yeah.
but we know how West Side Story ends. So it's a good feeling of maybe control of our environment.
Oh, exactly.
Well,
And
speaking of West Side Story, it is a little bit divisive as a story, and therefore it can be a little bit divisive when it becomes done on stage as well. So Kent State University in Ohio was putting on West Side Story, and they've had to cancel the production due to casting concerns. As you may remember in the story, there are two rival gangs in West Side Story, and they are Latino. However, Kent State did not cast Latino people in the show for those gangs. Now, their reasoning, that is not the best singer and dancer groups, has nothing to do with race. They cast the show as singers and dancers. people on campus were upset by that because they felt that the Latino population should be better represented, that is the way the show was written. Yeah. This makes me sad. Everything makes me sad right now, for the record, because of this kind of thing. As Linda says, everything's so divisive. Do we have to consider race when we cast a show, or can we consider the best performer?
You know, I know I shouldn't be saying this in public, but I think we ought to consider the best performer. You know, the orchestra casts people behind a curtain, so the judges don't see the people playing the instrument.
I kind of love that.
They only hear the music.
Yeah.
So maybe theater should be cast behind a curtain and you wouldn't know who was doing it, only who's the best. I think it ought to be the best performer. I know that's not a popular theory.
It's difficult for me when it comes to race or ethnic background, because the school, you know, did they look at their student base and think, okay, we have enough Latino students to be able to cast this show that is half Latino
But should
actors?
they have? Can they not do a show because they don't have a large Latino population? That to me
tough.
doesn't seem
wrong.
When the
that-
show
yeah,
is,
I would agree with
when
that.
the show
That's
is
wrong.
based on the rivalry between the two races, you almost need to, you know, it's like when they do Hairspray, when high schools do Hairspray and they don't have African American
I mean, what are you
students.
doing?
Yeah, that show's really about race as well.
I used the, you know, they had a smash hit production at the Oslo Rep of West Side Story, and they did a very good job in making sure that the members of the Sharks were well represented with Latino actors, and it does help tell that story in a way that made that show a massive, massive hit and a show that people really wanted to see. So I think it does make the story feel more authentic, and I think it does tell the story in a better way and makes it a little more.
So maybe it is knowing your talent pool. You know, I mean, it's not the school's fault if they simply don't have that talent pool, but I don't know.
It's a shame because it is such a great piece and can do so much for people, but I guess I don't know, there's no right answer. But you know, if you're a student there at the school, you're like, why aren't you telling the story the way it should be told?
Right.
Yeah, there was a movie, I don't remember the name of it, but it was about a woman who survived the Holocaust because she was a great musician. And they cast some beautiful star to play her. And she said, no, if I had been beautiful, it would have gone a whole different way. I would not have survived to play that instrument had I been a beautiful woman. So a beautiful woman should not play me because it doesn't tell the real story. So I thought that was interesting.
I was watching Hulu the other night, and this movie Highlander, you probably all know it. It's really terrible. But Sean Connery is in it as a Spanish character. Like, he's got a Spanish name, and he does not have an accent. And the only thing that bothered me was when I was a kid, I didn't even notice that. But now I actually, I would say, am I woke? Maybe. But I watched it and thought, oh, that should have been, you know, an actor, like, you know, I mean, it would have been Antonio Banderas or something because he was, you know, still running around. Sean Connery's not going to like that. He's like, yeah, she was my age. But truthfully, it does not make a lot of sense, and it just jarred me a little bit in a way that maybe it didn't before. And I think maybe I've grown a little bit too in understanding that sometimes that representation does matter.
Does matter. Yeah, it may affect the storyline. All right, well, Gilbert, Minnesota, not typically a party place, right? It's way up north by Lake Superior. But this week, there were a lot of drunks, and they were flying around. The birds got drunk from eating berries because just as grapes ferment and wine, apparently this variety of berries can ferment and become alcoholic. Now, typically what happens is that they get an early frost that knocks off the berries before the birds get all knocked off the trees from drinking too much, but didn't happen this year. The berries are there, the birds are partaking, and they were then flying erratically and honestly, sadly, like into things, which doesn't always.
Get those birds some coffee and let them sleep it off.
End well for the birds. So
Have a lot of little baby birds this year.
you know what? That may be what happens next year. I guess we'll have to
If only
find
they
out.
could text no, then they'd be fine.
They would be fine. There'd be more intervention.
All right, we're going to check our mid-morning forecast, and when we come back, it's Financial Friday.
So a few scattered showers over on the other coast, but some drier air will be filtering in, reducing the number of showers that may cut across the peninsula into our area today. So our rain chance actually goes down just a little bit. Our massive clouds that yesterday produced sprinkles across our area and a few showers and even a thunderstorm or two now moving away. As it moves away, that drier air anchors itself across our Suncoast, and that brings us some very nice weekend weather. Over the course of next week, we'll be watching that high-pressure ridge move out into the Atlantic and our winds shift a little bit more southerly. That draws up tropical moisture, and we'll be watching very closely in the tropics a possible development of a tropical system in the Caribbean that could lift north into Gulf waters next week. So keep apprised of the forecast as we head through the weekend. We'll look for lots of sunshine today, carrying our temperature up to about 91 degrees. Rain chance kind of minimal, only coming in at about 20%, decreasing during the evening hours.
Change is inevitable, and many of life's family changes, like divorce and death, can greatly affect our finances. Financial advisor Esther Hall from Star Financial Solutions is here to talk about how we can best prepare. So Esther, welcome. Great to see you for Financial Friday.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Tell us about the situations that typically most impact our finances.
The three major things that happen is death, divorce, and especially taking care of a loved one. That can really have a big effect on your finances, on your income, on your assets, on everything.
And in terms of taking care of a loved one too, it seems like that would be the one that we don't typically prepare for. You know, there may be a little bit of a heads up in some of the other cases.
Right.
What type of preparation are you recommending?
There's two major family members that you'd be taking care of would be a spouse or a parent. Sometimes a child, but mostly a spouse or a parent. And it could be because of mental acuity or because of physical issues. And you really need to know where their assets are and how they're being handled. And that's something you should talk about way ahead of time. You should know where the assets are. You should get some statements, you know, and just know what they want, where they're at, you know, and know what's been set up for them, what insurance, what, you know, is there anything at a hospital or, you know, a care place where they can get care.
Kind of an awkward thing to ask, though. It's like, how do you bridge that first step on, hey, so can I see how much money you have and where you keep it?
You know, my dad tried to tell my sister and I, okay, here's where the money is, here's where the information, and we'd say, we don't want to hear this, we don't want to hear this, you're not going to die.
Right.
Just don't tell us about it. We should have listened.
Absolutely, and I went through the same thing with a loved one that passed unexpectedly. And luckily, he had the conversation with my brother because he was very young. We didn't expect it, and none of us understood his lifestyle. And so when we got the shock, my brother stepped up and said, guess what? I had a conversation. I know where everything is, what we need to do, and where we have to go with this. And it's so, so important.
You gave us some kind of guidelines of the things that we absolutely have to know. And I know we have a graphic that we can pull up and go over that. So certainly knowing what is out there is important, but you said even before that we need to have a team. What exactly does that mean?
It means that you should have for yourself a financial advisor, an accountant, and an attorney that you are comfortable with, that you can go to, that maybe you've already been working with on your own things. That way when something comes up, you know who to call, who to pick up a phone, and it's somebody that you know you can already talk to, because sometimes the people that they have you're not as comfortable with. You also, as we said, you need to know where the accounts are, where the assets are. You need to know where statements are, where the important papers are. You know, can you point to that drawer where all the important papers are, not just for you, but for your parents?
Right.
And you need to know where that stuff is. And it helps if you've actually opened it and looked also, but not as important as if you know where to go.
Know where to go, yeah.
Somebody, you know, if you have that relationship, they can help you with the rest.
Now, what about access? Because if someone were to pass away and there were passwords and things like that, you know, they're not going to let me in an account, are they? How does that work?
And that's also something that you need to have in that conversation. Also, what I tell my clients is, have a book and keep it in your junk drawer with all this stuff. Have my card in it, have your attorney's card in it, have your passwords in it, have some statements in it so they know what to look for, and have that accessible where somebody's going to find it. And then you can also put in some love letters.
That's a
If
nice
you're
idea.
looking for this, then something has happened, and I just want you to know I really appreciate that you're doing this for me.
That's important, and I know in our family we unfortunately learned the hard way that after someone had passed, some of those things were not discussed, and trying to access bank accounts and insurance and credit cards was very, very difficult after the fact.
Right.
When my husband died, he left me that note, but he told me where I should invest, how I should invest, how I should
That
spend
is
the
a
money,
love note.
and
He
what
wanted
to
you to
wear to the funeral.
Aye. That is control. Aye, aye, aye. And how much of that did you actually do?
everything I possibly could except the outfit.
Good for you.
But you know, it is a sign of caring, I think, to make these preparations. Quickly, when we talk about caregiving, how do we make plans to be able to afford to caregive?
That's something you work on with an attorney and a financial advisor and planner, and you make sure that there's assets that will be there for you, or that you have somebody in place to help you through, you know, Medicare planning and that kind of thing, because it's a big step, and you need to know if you have long-term care insurance, if you have a life insurance policy, and does that life insurance policy maybe have a rider on it that'll cover those things, or an annuity that might cover those things. And these are all things that this person who's going to be taking care of you, or you, if you're going to be taking care of somebody else, you really need to know.
Yeah, and it's all very mind-boggling when you start to use all those phrases and words. I know my head starts to hurt, but it is reality, you know, as we get to the caregiving stage. So.
Yeah.
Good to have the right people to help, that is for sure. And you can contact Esther and also get more financial information from starfinancialsolutions.com. Coming up next, we discuss some common dining out dilemmas.
Mascara adds depth to the eyes. Lipstick gives the mouth color and definition. And ALS paralyzes the body.
You look great, Mom. Thank you.
Slowly taking away the ability to move and eventually breathe.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits. You get all this coverage for a $0 monthly plan premium in most areas, and Humana has a large network of doctors and hospitals. So call or go online today. Find out if your doctor is part of the Humana network and get your free decision guide. Discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. There is no obligation and the book is free.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase is coming to the Venice Community Center October 5th and 6th from 9 to 3. There will be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy a great food court and see new boats and cars in an outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase, sponsored in part by ABC 7.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Welcome back. Okay, we all love to go out to eat, but sometimes, you know, it's not as you would hope. So at what point in time do you finally break down and send food back to the kitchen? Apparently there's a right way to do it and a wrong way, according to the experts. So experts say the best thing to do is to actually complain as soon as possible. After that you've decided it's worth complaining about, of course, but be specific about the problem. They don't like it when you just say, this doesn't taste right or something. Say, this is too spicy. This is overcooked. So rather than being vague, give them a way to actually fix the problem. And then, of course, know that you may not actually be right. Anyway, maybe it was supposed to be spicy and you just ordered wrong. Who actually will send food back?
Oh, I'd have to text them. I don't do that.
You do not send food back?
My husband sent everything back. I'd go to the restroom when he did that.
Because you were mortified?
I was embarrassed, yes. So I can't do it because I'm just too embarrassed.
My mom used to send food back all the time, and it was always like, oh, it was a customer service nightmare as a kid. So my brothers and I, as adults, would eat, like, even if you gave us the wrong dish completely,
you'll eat it?
Yeah. Just don't even look at them.
I never send anything back. I mean, look at me. And, but yeah, it's hard. I always get nervous. I always think they're gonna. I'm terrible. I always go, they're gonna do something to it. Now they were not going to, but George sends everything back.
Isn't that so interesting? And you know what? I don't send anything back either. I just fine, whatever. I'll put up with it. But I also don't have a family member that did. But we have 4 fairly type A personality people, yet none of us will be confrontational enough to send it.
Well, it depends too on how it's going to affect the rest of the table. So if I ordered a meal that's takes a long time to prepare, and I'm sending it back, and their food is here, I've just like thrown off the whole meal.
You just sit there while you wait for a new one. That's the main reason I won't do it.
But then everybody's uncomfortable, like, oh, I won't eat until you're. It just creates a whole bunch of discomfort for everybody. So if it's a salad or something quick that they can do, give me a new bowl of soup.
I just like discounts.
Yes.
Discounts make me happy.
But if you eat it, if you don't like it, but you eat it and then you complain.
Oh, that's what they say you can't do.
People don't know that rule.
Exactly.
And if you don't like it, usually I can pretty much log that in my brain and go, you know, I spend a lot here and it wasn't good, so I'm not going to come back.
Might not necessarily be back. Exactly. All right, so now we have this new problem in life that there's different types of restaurants, right? There's counter service, there's obviously formal sit down, there's kind of those weird categories in between, and they all have a tip line on the receipt. So when do you actually use it? So Sarasota Magazine interviewed a bunch of Suncoast servers and found that there are 2 sticking points in terms of when we tip: takeout and coffee. But now we're being told here on the Suncoast they do still accept tips, but for different reasons.
Well, I'm sure they'd accept a tip. I'd accept a tip.
Even go so far as to expect them. So in takeout, servers are actually double checking your order over and over and over. The person that delivers it to you at the counter or even walks it out to your car is actually the one in charge of getting it right and taking it back if it's wrong, so that tipping them is a good way to say thank you for doing your job well. Now here's my complaint about that. You don't find out it's wrong until you get home, unless you rip it open in the car. So then I don't like to tip you.
So often.
I do too.
If I have to walk up to the bar or walk in and get it, I would not be as inclined to tip as if they brought it to me to the car. Bring it to the car, yeah, I think you should tip for that.
Right. Yeah. I carry out, I always just drop to 10%.
Yeah, me too.
It seems like a little something something for your efforts, but yet, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me too, because I'm kind of like, well, I'm not staying there. You're not checking on me.
Right.
And a lot of times,
and isn't it your job to
I ordered
do
it
the food?
online too, so it wasn't like we really interacted very much.
Yeah. Right.
Here's money for a relationship we never had.
And by the way, coffee, the rule of thumb according to the Suncoast servers is depending on how difficult the drink is. If you're just pouring a cup, you don't necessarily have to
fair,
tip.
I do too. Some of those drinks are very complicated.
If you've got 12 different rules on how to do it, that definitely deserves a little something extra.
That should go for your when you order your meal too. If you're like, oh, put this on the side, no this, give me this.
Right. That deserves a little.
That deserves a little grease in the pot.
Right.
Yeah, servers work hard. We will work hard to help. All right, coming up.
That's good to know, though.
That's right. Coming up next, the Suncoast organization shows how they are making a difference for the visually impaired.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TrueStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. Weekdays on ABC 7.
October is White Cane Awareness Month. The white cane brings independence for people who are blind or vision impaired, and it alerts motorists to yield to pedestrians that are using it. Lighthouse of Minnesota is the Suncoast nonprofit vision rehabilitation resource. We welcome Lisa Howard, the CEO of Lighthouse Minnesota. We're so happy to have you here, Lisa.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Tell me about the services at Lighthouse of Minnesota.
Well, so you may be surprised to know that the Lighthouse is the only option, the only source of vision rehabilitation in our whole area.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We've been here a long time. So vision rehabilitation is basically teaching people to use specialized skills and different adaptive techniques to accomplish everyday tasks. If you don't see so well, some things can be challenging. So the people that we help have what's called low vision. So they have vision loss that can't be corrected. So no surgery, no glasses, no medication is going to change their vision loss. So our job is to teach all of those different techniques. The white cane is a powerful tool for someone who has lost some vision, not only to get around their home, but get around their community.
Oh, yes. And you brought some other tools. Tell me what we have here.
A large part of what we do is to teach how to use the remaining vision the best way that you can. So lighting, contrast, large print, magnification is huge. And these are just some of the devices that we have in the little vision aid store called Peepers that we have in our building. So all kinds of magnification, and they're not one size fits all. You really need to come in and have like a consultation, and our experts will match you up with what you need. But so you see it, large print, black and white,
Yes.
so much easier for people to see, and obviously large watches that'll tell you what time it is.
Oh, that's wonderful. So we've got,
Listen to
it's
that.
talking to me.
Yes, and a lovely voice.
Yes.
Nice speaking voice.
Oh, that's wonderful. Why a white cane instead of a guide dog?
Well, some people may not qualify for a guide dog, and there would be many reasons for that. Someone would need to master the white cane before they would even be eligible for a dog.
Oh.
So we would have to provide some training first. But then there's other reasons. They may not be able to handle a dog. You know, they're usually bigger dogs. It could be a financial reason, allergies, their lifestyle. You know, the orientation and mobility instructor may say, they don't have enough skill and orientation to work with the dog, because the dog can't tell you when the signal changed at the intersection. The human still has to do that piece. So there's a lot of reasons, and actually I think people probably misunderstand that there's only about 5% of the visually impaired in the country use a guide dog.
Oh, really?
Everyone else, yeah, I know. People don't understand that. Everyone else uses a white cane, and sometimes they don't. I don't know if that's pride, whatever that is, they won't use their cane, but our instructors are amazing. They teach people to do things you think would never be able to be done if you couldn't see.
Now, you brought one of those instructors with you, right? You brought Mandy Spencer, and she is a certified orientational specialist, and she is going to show Joey and Stephanie how to use a white cane. So let's go over and see, how hard could this be, guys? Come on.
I guess we'll find out. All right, Maddie, what do we need to know?
Okay, well, first I have to give you some kind of visual impairment here. So
okay.
This is cataracts. Cataracts is very common, and we actually treat it easily here in the States, but across the U.S., or across the world, rather, it's not as commonly treated.
Okay, there is a definite haze and blur in my world.
Yeah, and you might notice that the lights give you some glare.
Yeah, they're like haloing out.
Okay. So this is considered low vision.
Okay.
I'll hand you a cane. This cane is white, tipped with red, so the bottom is red.
Okay.
It is red to tell passersby that you have a visual impairment.
Okay.
So your job as a person with a visual impairment is to move that cane back and forth.
Slide
in front
it like
of you.
that?
Just in front of you.
Okay.
Only in front of you, because if you swing it too wide, you'll whack someone next to you.
Okay, good point.
Okay. And it's meant to clear your pathway. So it bumps into things before you do. It also can tell you different textures of surfaces. So if you move forward here.
And we did purposely put an obstacle in the way for Stephanie before she comes to me.
There you go. So you know to move to the side of it.
Okay.
Wow.
And keep on rolling.
Okay. Now, I guess if I got to a curb, I would feel it drop down?
Yep, that's called a drop off.
Okay.
So
then I would feel where that would be.
Exactly.
Okay.
Your cane would indicate to you.
And the red lets me know that she is vision impaired and that I can.
And you're not supposed to be in my way because I feel your shoe.
All right, so now you gave me a different set of goggles. Now what does this recreate?
So that's macular degeneration.
Wow.
We see that among our aging population a lot. It is an age-related eye disease.
So it's interesting because like right in the middle, I lose vision.
Yeah, you lose that central acuity.
So as I'm making my way, and it's interesting because it's just enough to not be able to see certain detail. Like I can see around it.
So if you were someone I was training, I'd say keep your chin up.
Oh yeah.
Let your cane do its work.
Wow, it's a little scary. I mean, it definitely gives an appreciation for people that have any type of impairment because you can't move. I didn't feel comfortable to move as quickly as I normally would.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Slow moving.
Well, and again, it makes me sensitive when I see someone working with the cane. Like, let me not have to be an obstacle in their world. 'Cause I think that's what's hard, especially on busy city streets.
Yeah.
You know, when people are trying to.
You can always offer assistance, though.
Well, and I understand that there are other services so people in the community can experience this, and Linda has a little bit more about that. Linda?
Yeah, Lisa, other people can try it. We watched them and it looks so easy, but there are other things, other events for other people to try this.
There are. We're going to have some white cane awareness walks in our community. The very first one is tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in Payne Park, if you want to join us and give that a try that you just saw over there. And then also October 27th, we'll do one at the Riverwalk, the Bradenton Riverwalk, also at 9 a.m. And there is a small fee for just $25, but you get a really cool t-shirt and lunch. So join us for lunch and learn a little bit about what
and you'll look out more for those white canes. The Lighthouse Minnesota White Cane Walk in Sarasota at Payne Park is October 6th, and Bradenton's Riverwalk is October 27th. There's more information for you on the Lighthouse of Minnesota website. Next, Free Fall Theater.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase is coming to the Venice Community Center October 5th and 6th from 9 to 3. There will be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy a great food court and see new boats and cars in an outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase, sponsored in part by ABC 7.
Watch Suncoast View weekdays at 9 a.m. on ABC 7. This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. Today at noon, a preliminary vote is expected this morning in the Senate on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. A binding vote is planned for tomorrow. And a search is on for a missing mother and son in Pinellas County. They were last seen Wednesday and their car was found abandoned yesterday in Pinellas Park. Now for the forecast, here's meteorologist John Scalzi.
All right, thanks very much. Nice day to be out on the water. We'll develop an east wind again today, coming in at about 10. It'll be shifting and strengthening just a little bit in the afternoon, coming in at about 10 to 15 knots. It'll all bring you a moderate chop on your bay and inland waters with 2 to 3 foot seas. Water temperature now at 85. Forecast for today under lots of sunshine includes another warm one. Daytime highs will top out near the 90-degree mark, and we'll have feels-like temperatures even warmer than that, up around 100. Rain chance, though, a lot less, only around 20%.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Welcome back. The musical The Fantastics is the longest running musical in the world, and for good reason. It's a tale of young love that manages to be timeless and universal. Well, Free Fall Theater is staging The Fantastics this month, and actor Patrick Ryan Sullivan joins our guest host and community outreach director of Free Fall, Matt McGee, to help us learn more about the story. All right, so for people that are not familiar with The Fantastics, just tell us the plot.
It's kind of an Our Town plot, and if you're not familiar with Our Town, it's just a classic hero's journey. You know, it's a young man that has decided he wants some stuff out of life and goes out into the world to try to find it, and the world beats him up a little bit, and he comes back and decides that home's the place he needs to be.
Oh, very nice for especially, you know, all the unrest that we all feel right now. It's a great time. Free Fall has a different take, like you typically will do with a great show. How is this show being done now?
You know, we found that our audiences really like to see stories that they've heard of, that they know the title, but with sort of a spin on it. So what Eric has done is used puppetry in the show, acting musicians, actually both of the fathers. Everyone knows the two fathers, Bellamy and Huckabee, but in this production they play piano together. They play 3 pianos, dueling pianos. It's really quite extraordinary to watch all of that. But Eric has kind of made the first act very whimsical with the puppets. There is even a lyric in it that's in the second act that says, "Take away the puppet play," and he does just that. So the second act is when they break everything down and tell the reality of the story, and the boy and the girl. The boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl again, and that's how it all sort of happens together. Oh. But his production, I feel like the second act of this version is told so well. I think it's the best I've ever seen it done, because it's very real, very heartbreaking, And I think Eric brings that sense of reality by taking away all of what is whimsical about Act One and really bringing it to its core and telling the story.
And with a great piece. Patrick, I know that you mentioned you've done the show many times before.
Four times, right?
Four times.
Right.
Doing this version this way at this time, are you experiencing anything new from the piece?
Well, it's by far my favorite production that I've done, and I was younger when I had done it before. And it's amazing because a classic like To Kill a Mockingbird, when you read it as a child and then you read it as an adult and then as an older adult, it follows you through your life and all the lessons change. And the lessons in this show for me are completely different because I played the boy before. And now I get to watch the boy the whole time and remember myself playing the boy, and it's very melancholy.
And I know the way that Free Fall stages musicals, the audience is really so close to the action. It's so great. A lot of people may not realize the beautiful music that is part of the Fantastic. So Patrick is going to give us a little snippet of one of the best songs in the show. So while you get ready, Matthew, will you set up the song we're about to hear?
Absolutely. So Patrick, who we're really always excited to have Patrick. Patrick is a Broadway veteran of such shows as Beauty and the Beast, 42nd Street, Titanic. So we're always happy to have him. And in this show, he plays El Gallo, who is sort of the narrator of the piece and sort of a swashbuckling sort of actor for hire. And just like he tells you about how he learns a lot, the character learns a lot in the show. Without hurt, the heart is hollow. So he's going to do the classic opening song, the song a lot of people remember. It's called Try to Remember.
And here's Patrick Ryan Sullivan from the Fantastics at Free Fall Theater. Take it away.
Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, without a hurt, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow.
The Fantastics is at Free Fall Theater in St. Petersburg. As you can hear, it is fantastic. It is running now through October 21st. For tickets and more information, visit freefalltheater.com. Coming up next, we're going to help you find this Halloween's favorite decorations right here on the Suncoast.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Okay, it's October and we're in the Halloween spirit and we want to know who else is. So when you see great decorations around the Suncoast, let us know so we can feature them on the show and also secretly get some ideas for our own homes. Yeah. So you can always find us online, on Facebook, on our website. Send us an email, of course, on Instagram as well. But check out suncoastview.com so we can get some ideas. All right, I've got an idea that I can't wait to get to the kitchen with Simply Gourmet and some berry desserts.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good Friday morning. I'm Ray Collins. Today at noon, now that red tide has spread to Florida's Atlantic coast, the state is giving more money for red tide. We'll have the latest dollar figure for you. And a Northport High School football player continues his recovery from a neck injury 1 week ago tonight. We'll show you how his sister is helping him day and night. But first, here's the forecast now from John Scalzi.
Rather quiet conditions on the Suncoast currently, but we do have a few scattered showers over on the other coast. Some of those showers trying to make it across the peninsula will tend to die out, but a few of them will make it over. Our rain chance today, much less than it was 24 hours ago, about 20% or so. Satellite view shows plenty of sunshine in store for us. I don't see much in the way of any impediment to keeping our temperatures to climbing close to the 90 mark. We'll have about a 20% chance of rain showers as we head into the afternoon, decreasing this evening.
The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase is coming to the Venice Community Center October 5th and 6th from 9 to 3. There will be free health screenings, door prizes, and products and services from 75 area businesses. You can also enter to win $100 in 5 drawings each day. Enjoy a great food court and see new boats and cars in an outdoor display. Parking and admission are free. The Venice Area Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase, sponsored in part by ABC7.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at nationalguard.com.
Like ABC7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust.
Welcome back. We have made it into the Rice's Appliance Kitchen with Chef Larry from Simply Gourmet Caterers, and we are going to make some desserts, which I love.
It should be delicious.
And you put Matt to work? What's he doing?
I am. Well, we're going to make a little whipped cream.
I'm really doing well with it,
It's
too.
so easy. It's nutty.
Yeah.
Let me just show you. This is just the heavy cream.
Okay.
Usually it's 36%, 40%. 40% is extra rich. And then we'll just put a little bit of granulated sugar in there. And when you make whipped cream, if there's still a little bit of grit in there, just keep beating it, and that will disappear. And how about just a drop of natural vanilla?
I like that.
You've got to have real vanilla. If you don't, you know, what are you doing?
Exactly.
What we do here is I've got 1/4 cup of blackberry preserves. Because with me, dessert shouldn't only just be sweet. It really needs to be tasty. I look at it like just like regular food. So we've got, right? Because you want the flavor. Because otherwise you get that little weird burn. You know what we call that? Sugar burn. That is, it's crazy. When you buy a bad candy bar, it always happens that way.
It hurts my teeth.
It's part of the deal. And then, so once that has melted, you could use strawberry jam also. It all works well.
Use that as our base.
A little cassis made with those little tiny grapes.
I'm not familiar with cassis.
Oh, it's from Burgundy, France. And man, this will add such a beautiful flavor. I just cook it for a minute to get a little of that alcohol out. And you got to be careful when you add the alcohol to it too. You don't want to flame. I've got some beautiful cherries here. And this doesn't take long to cook. I'll throw in some beautiful Bing cherries. A little bit of orange zest.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Gives it a little bit of
that.
je ne sais quoi. I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it sounds good.
Yes.
Right? And some blackberries and some blueberries as well.
Yum.
And that will really make things lovely. Throw in a couple of strawberries just for the fun of it. And then...
So like a berry compote.
It really is. I call it
Very
stewed fruit. You could cook this for I'd say no more than 8 minutes. So, you know, we're on the tights. We're in the tight schedule here, so we'll just go ahead and take the little shortened version of it too. I'm going to add just a little bit more juice.
Yeah, more juice, more cherry. Yeah,
Right? Look at that juice. And then this is called a slurry.
Oh.
It's slurry. It's from Oklahoma.
Oh, a
slurry with
yes.
a fringe on top. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
I'm as high as an elephant's eye.
That's it. And this is just cornstarch and water, called the slurry. So you could thicken things with roux. You could even use potato starch.
Right.
And we just add a little. It will thicken up right on contact.
Do we need to boil it to get it to thicken?
No, it will.
Did not know
It
that.
should come back to a slight boil, but even a simmer will thicken it. You could see, and I don't like to make it overly thick.
Right.
You know, so we'll just go like that. Let me show you a great way to plate this up, because we'll say it's done for now.
Okay, we'll
Dying to
pretend
find
it's
out
done.
what it's going to be served on.
Oh, this is lemon pound cake. I've included that in the recipe.
look at that.
It's a simple recipe.
I love
Couldn't be
lemon
easier,
pound
but it rises beautifully. It's nice.
We never have it in my house.
No,
Well,
it
it doesn't
disappears.
last long in my house, is what I mean.
That's part of the deal. And then maybe some strawberry around there.
This is looking lovely.
Yeah.
A
Matthew,
little
how's
bit
your right
more.
arm?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'll still be whisking on
That's
Monday's
it,
show.
That's okay. This
Oh
is
no,
a good
you got it.
How am I doing?
Oh, looking beautiful.
wow.
And I'll be serving this at that NAMI fundraiser on
Yeah,
October
let's talk
25th.
about the
So
fundraiser.
it's good food for a good cause.
Great
Tell us about
cause.
NAMI.
NAMI is
have
the
a treat.
National Alliance of Mental Illness. And not only do they really help a lot of people that have mental illness, but really they help a lot of people that have relatives or friends. So they sort of give you a lot of insight.
support system.
A support system, and also how to treat people and the patients that's necessary.
Very important.
Very
Well,
important.
good. I'm excited that you are presenting this as part of that fundraising event.
And actually, next Wednesday is National Mental Health Awareness Day, and
Fantastic.
NAMI will be on the show to
Oh,
talk
that's
about what they're doing in
fantastic.
schools.
Good.
That's fantastic.
We'll learn more about that next week. We will enjoy
Beautiful.
this right now because there's no way I was going to wait another minute.
Oh, this is so
And you will
good.
enjoy
Oh,
seeing
thanks
the
so
recipe
much.
on our website. Yeah, the berries are phenomenal.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it.
It is great.
It's
so great
great.
to have you here.
My
Matt,
pleasure.
always a pleasure.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, come for the food, stay for the friends. Right? That's the way we do it. All right, everybody. Happy Friday. Enjoy today and your weekend. We'll see you back here live Monday morning, 9 a.m. Enjoy the Suncoast View.